Iceland, boys! It's Iceland! Yay!
The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is responsible for the tectonic activity in Iceland. Volcanic eruptions along the ridge create new ocean floors and sea floors as spreading occurs as the plates are pushed apart. Iceland formed around 24 million years ago from frequent volcanic eruptions and is the only land from across the ridge that is exposed above the ocean.
Hi, and we're back with the Mid-Atlantic Ridge Squad. I'm currently stood on the American side of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It's currently moving at 2 centimetres a year, whereby the plates are moving apart. On the right, we've got the European side. We're in the Rift Valley.
Which passes across Thingvellir National Park, which is a boundary between the North American and Eurasian plates. Thingvellir National Park is also home to Iceland's first parliament, which is one of the oldest in the world.
Here we can see Iceland's very famous black beach, formed by heavily weathered volcanic rock. They are very rare across other parts of the world. Weathering and erosion also cause disconnect between the large column structures. The caves seen here have protected people from the harsh weather of Iceland since it settled. Where the basaltic columns have cooled slowly, they have formed hexagonally, similar to what you see in the Giant's Causeway in Ireland. Guys, it's day 4. We're on Jaime Island and we're about to trek up the Eldfell Hill.
We'll be measuring the lichens and temperature and hopefully see some bobby load as well.
We're trying to get up Eldfell, but the conditions have got really bad, so visibility is near 0, so we can't really get far up. As we can see looking around, we're going to take lichen measurements from both here and the graveyard, where we have known dates, and that way we can try and extrapolate how long they've been here.
Before 1973, the whole island of Jaime was actually 20% smaller than it is now. However, when the eruption happens, it gains a new coastline. So, from this port over here, cutting through the bend of the road and then drawing a line all the way to the other end of the island, everything on the other side of that line is new land that was formed in 1973. Here we are still on the lava field with Eldfell volcano. Behind me you can see very lucky alien lava using Alex scale for the height of the lava flow. The eruption was very explosive due to high amount of volatiles in the which produced lucky type lava flow. It's still basalt, however some bits of it are very red in colour due to amounts of iron minerals.
So we are at Museum today, which is exhibiting
the damage from the Eldfell eruption in 1973, and it also gives some information on the Surtsey eruption, as they are part of the same island chain. Behind me, can you see it? Okay, sorry. Behind me is a house that was recovered many years after the eruption. So in 2005, a recovery operation began to try and recover 18 to 20 houses and create a memorial town of the houses that were buried by pumice. This particular house, it was buried by 15 metres of pumice. It was one of the houses closest to the fissure that had opened up. And there was extensive damage, and part of the reason for the recovery operation was also to see the exact conditions that the houses were in. However, the memorial town wasn't completely realised, as not enough houses could be recovered. However, one here has been exhibited just to show the extent of the damage.
On day 6 we visited the cave. From the surface you can see evidence of magma flows through the rock patterns, showing a pahoehoe type of lava. From the top of the cave you can see the instability due to the cooling of the cave. This caused the rocks to fall in. Further into the cave, the colder it gets. This is due to the cold fronts, causing the cold air to be forced into the cave due to pressure. The lava tube was formed in 900 AD. This was the first documented eruption in Iceland. The cave formed due to the outside of the cave cooling quicker than the inside. This has caused it to solidify, but the inside of the cave stayed liquid, causing a hollow inside. The cave is significantly important due to it being untouched from the 1941 English invaders who explored and ruined a large percentage of the caves across Iceland. However, this one was protected due to ice sealing its entrance. Inside the cave you can see that the lava has formed different artefacts. These are formed due to excess lava. The only things living inside the cave is algae, which relies on sulfur. This shows that volcanic activity is still having an impact on the cave. Here you can see the edge of the cave. Further past this point, the surface becomes too unstable and is too thin to walk on. There is one area of instability in the cave, and this is covered by a metal cage to protect visitors.
Can't put your hand in that for long. That is very hot. Fumaroles can reach over 100 degrees and emit mixtures of steam and volcanic gases such as hydrogen sulfide, which often oxidizes to sulfuric acid. This is the reason why surrounding rocks are shades of yellow and red due to intense chemical activity. They occur where magma has risen to the surface but not exploded.
So as you can see behind us from the steam, there are two small pools which are heated due to fumaroles from volcanic activity. As we've gone further up, there's been an increase in temperature, as well as when we've got up to the top, there is a decrease in pH down to 2. This shows the increase of sulfur presence in the water.
Here we can see a hot spring. Hot springs are very common in Iceland. Rain and surface water seeps into the cracks, hitting solid rocks or aquifers. Shallow intrusions of magma heat up the water, forcing it to rise due to pressure, creating bubbling hot springs. This is a slow-mo of an erupting geyser. Approximately 1.5 litres per second is discharged, and we were told that this geyser specifically erupts every 2 to 3 minutes.
We hope you enjoyed our video as much as we enjoyed our trip to Iceland. No people, animals, algae or lichen were harmed in the making of this video. The only thing harmed was our dignity in the introduction.